thought it was a lot worse at first. We thought for 2 years, when Social Security was dropped from 6.2% that's withheld from our checks, it went to 4.2%.
For 2 years, 2011, 2012, the entire year. 2 years.
Then Carla called today and said, well, no, I think it's right because they were difference. Well, we got to looking. What it was on June 9th was when the computer updated. And so it was actually June 9, 2011. So from January to May of 2011, it was withholding 2% too much out of each employee's paycheck.
Instead of
But-
correct,
but-
for 2 years?
Correct, but in the background, when you go and change it, it was showing 6.2% for the employee, 6.2% for the employer, which that's what we were looking at. So we assumed for those 2 years that that's what it was. But Intuit, our software sends updates every so often, and she probably finally ran the update 6 months after it began in 2011, and it started running it. So we've only got 6 months worth of adjustments to make.
That's
for 2
simple.
years.
I mean, that one was a simple one. The next one was when say if you were a participant in the 125, you figure your gross pay, say it's $100. Your cafeteria plan stuff comes out, so your gross pay you actually pay taxes on Social Security and Medicare is $90. Right? Well, it was set up to where the garnishments and anything else would come with just like in the cafeteria plan, and not so it's figuring on the net instead of gross.
Those amounts are taxable. That are being deducted before the taxes. So we have to go back and figure, and the way you do that is when a new employee starts, you have to go through and set up that new employee with all of the differences, the 401k, whatever they have. If they have a cafeteria plan, if they have garnishments, if they're taking advantage of any kind of insurance. And each one of those questions have like 6 different boxes that you have to check and make sure that you get it correct. Well, in this case, it asks you subtract it from the gross to the net. Well, it should have been subtracted from the net, and this was subtracted from the gross. So the taxes were not subtracted from that. So, there may be, for example, there may be, say for example, $5,000 worth of gross wages, but there's no taxes been paid on. Now granted, these people owe those taxes, but we made the mistake. I feel like we should pay those taxes for those people. Unless you're doing a payroll every single month, every single, every other week, there's changes every single year. And my reading material is financial, is accounting, is payroll. And unless you keep up with the rules and the regulations and the changes, there's no way you can know. And that's what happened with the payroll.
And just like the garnish, you're not going to catch that unless you find a discrepancy in something. I mean, there's no way in the world that you guys have been up in the office with one person trying to do that. If once that's set up, nobody would have had the time to sit in there and go back through every single thing and look. And again, it's simple. It's just like it's a mistake every one of us have made, even including Carla, Amanda, Esther, probably even the people. The part of that we had on here, we'll do my managed report. I paid back pay to the 2 people that we were going to put in the city clerk. Afterwards, I was told that I was told not to, and I did not. I don't remember that. I talked to every one of you about it to see. I paid back pay to them. I believe they deserve it.
How far back does that go?
The amounts would be the second one I have not yet because they're not here yet with their time cards. I don't have their time cards. I figured on the others' time cards it was around $1,800. I think the total. Isn't that what I told you?
Okay. Exactly how many months did you go back for that pay?
I think it was 3.5.
And
4.
if we was going to do this, it should have been discussed, but it wasn't. We never said we was going to retroactive their pay. If we was gonna do that, it should have been done like the first month. I mean, why would you wait 3 months and say, oh, I think we need to back pay, make up the back pay?
Because at the time, we thought we had a city clerk coming in. And these two girls actually were the city clerks then too, doing the training for them. I'm just saying that what they were compensated for, all the work they were doing, was not near enough.
But the thing is, I think is what Diana is saying, and how I feel too, is if you were going to give them back pay of $1,800 or $1,300 or whatever for her hours that you gave her, it should have been approved by the council, and it wasn't done.
Well,
and which I think is illegal.
No, because the council does not set the salaries.
Okay, if it has to come through us though.
No, it
you
does
cannot.
not.
You cannot give her a check, and then you tell me, you told me that Karen okayed it, and then when I came to you, you said Karen and Nick okayed it.
No.
No, yes,
No. I
yes.
said Karen and Nick did not remember you saying, "Don't you pay that?" No.
You said that they said okay, and I said that sure is funny that 2 of them said okay and 3 of us don't remember the conversation.
No. I talked to every single one of you. I never said they approved it. What I said was that Karen said, agreed. She told me, yes, she deserves to be compensated for it. Because she was up here. And that's when you said, well, you weren't there. You don't know what she did. Well, I know what got done. But the fact is, and I guess I probably never should have done it, but I appreciated it when I was on the council to see the breakdown of everything, you know, like the 34-page budget thing, to where you saw what was made. The council approves the total amount of salaries, is what they, for each department, is what they do.
How far back did
So whatever date the former clerk had left,
That Esther left, to the date that Esther left.
Which was in May.
April.
April? No.
It's crazy.
Well, what date was that? Was it April 30th?
Yeah.
When
Yes,
was
it was
April
with the
30th.
election. It was right around the time of the
It was
election.
April 30th.
Yeah, that's what
But I'm just telling you that job is not, for what we were paying, that's not nearly enough.
But then when we okayed her raise, though, then what's the difference? If we okayed a raise for her, why did you have to go back and give her more money? That's what I don't understand.
Because she was doing that job all along. Both of them were doing that all along.
But then why did you give it to one and not to both?
Because the other was not back to work yet. I don't have her time cards.
Then why did I get a text to say it was hush hush and to be quiet about it and not to
Yep.
tell anybody?
What I told them, like I told them in an
It was all
employee meeting.
secret crap, Dawn. It's
No.
all secret
No,
crap.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
What I told them in an employee meeting was, you do not discuss your pay with anybody. Because that's what happens. And that's what happened here. Instead, the same person, this is the 3rd time, the exact same people were involved in problems here. The exact same people. And it will be addressed in another employee meeting. I made it pretty clear, I wish more employees were here, that the first time I was going to warn them. The second time, I'll fire them. I don't care. It's so much BS. We spent over 3 days more time on this because an employee, instead of picking up the phone and calling me and say, Don, is this right? Goes to a council member. The same way the council members
They
go to
have the right to
employees.
come to council members. You can't
Not-
tell them.
Yes, I can.
You cannot tell them not to come to a
I
council
most
member.
certainly can. There's a chain of command and they have got to follow it. And if they do not
When
get
they
it,
feel that something is illegal going on in City Hall, they have the right. My God.
no, they don't. They contact me. If I say, here's what this is.
Oh, it's
that
hush
doesn't-
hush. Don't tell
No,
them. Don't
it's
tell
not-
nobody
If
that
I
I'm
can't
paying.
satisfy an employee, if I cannot satisfy them, that's what I told them. You can ask every single employee that was there. You come to me, if that doesn't answer your question the way you want it, then we will go to the council with it.
You don't think it's illegal, Dawn?
I know it's not illegal.
You don't think it's illegal what you done?
No,
Or anything underlying what you done?
no.
Okay.
How would it be illegal when I'm the one that approves their pay rate? Up until the time you appointed one of them as the title of city clerk, that's my job.
Okay, it's your job.
That, you know, that's technically correct. You know, now,
So he can go around
Now,
giving
council-
somebody, each person,
Well-
okay, I'm gonna give Hoos $1,300 because I think he did a good job.
what
But
depends-
don't tell nobody Hoos, because Ryan did a good job too, but I'm not gonna give him $1,300. That's okay for that price?
Well, you know, I don't know. I'm just dealing with the big principles, okay? The big principles are, and of course the council can decide, you know, the council can decide now, if they want to, they can talk about how much control they want to have over the purse strings, okay? Because the council are in charge of the budget, and they are in charge of the appropriation. But at this point, I mean, at this time, we don't have, like for instance, I've seen budgets, okay? A budget that comes out that names every position, okay? And then has a wage scale, you know, a step plan and a wage scale. And I've seen councils that detailed that these are the positions that are authorized, okay? And these are the wage scales that are allowable, you know? And each year you can get a bump. So I'm not saying that the council can't do it, can't exercise that power by way of the budget, but we haven't, okay? We haven't laid that kind of program in. And so the council, and we haven't talked about this, by the way.
No, I know.
We haven't had any conversation, I've just been listening. The council would set the rates for the employees that it hires and fires, okay?
By job class.
By job, yeah, I mean, like city clerk. I mean, you
Or
appoint the
water
city.
operator, or water superintendent, or street operator, or street superintendent.
Well, I mean, I don't know that we have it that way.
No, we never.
I mean, we don't have it that way, but currently, the folks that you hire, okay, you can set the rate. That's why we went back and talked about the rate of the city clerk. And many managers will share that information if time, you know, even on other employees, if time, you know, circumstances are such, he will, you know, memo you or something, or, you know, deal with that. We're going to do that. In many cases, managers or mayors, if they are the CEO, okay, will try to communicate that information to the council, even if it's within their authority, okay, to give a rating. You can exercise that power, setting up the budget right. You could set rates, and you could have a step plan, and you could say, you know, each year you get 5%. You could do that. We don't have that right now. We don't have it set up that way. So Don, on those that you don't hire, he does have that, you know, he does have that ability to set that rate. I suppose in this instance, what you saw is the quantity, you know, of their work was such that that they deserved additional compensation. So, if that is a problem, and had we talked before this meeting, you know, I would have suggested that's really an issue between the council and its employee, you know, the manager. It would probably be best directed at a executive session with the manager, talking about those types of issues, kind of a performance issue. But, you know, from my perspective, and I'm trying to give a legal opinion and not a factual opinion, you know, lots of hard cards in the last, you know, 4 or 5 months, you know, that have been dealt out. And I suppose what you're trying to do is just keep keep it working.
I just feel like maybe it should have been discussed, and maybe not so, what we're calling secretive, had just been discussed, because I was thinking we said no back pay. I thought when we give them their raise, we decided, no back pay.
And that's when I called everybody. Once Donna contacted me, I called every single council member and asked, and 3 of them said they didn't remember that. And I didn't remember it.
And I remember it being brought up because one of the employees had brought it up. And we said, no. It was mentioned, the word no was mentioned. And I never heard the word retroactivating anybody's salary. Yes, she was here and did a wonderful job. She worked her butt off. I appreciate that a whole bunch, but I feel like it should have been kind of discussed.
And that's the way I feel too. I feel the same way Diana feels. I feel like there was secretive stuff behind it, and I feel like that if it was going to be done, it should have been brought to the council, or, as Bryce says, in executive session to check and see if she would have been given the shot. And that's the way I feel. But if you have a choice, as Bryce says, it's your call, you do whatever, do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
my
just-
opinion that he had the right.
Yeah.
But
That
that
as
doesn't
Bryce
mean
says, that you have the right, but
on non-council appointees.
as a council member, I felt like for my ward, or for the city of Cherokee, I felt that it was underhandedly wrong. That's me, my personal
As mayor,
opinion.
I want to say my point. I had no idea any of this was going on. I talk about secretive people texting each other and calling each other on an issue, and I'm completely out of the loop. And I feel like that if somebody had a problem, they should have come to me first. And I would have handled it from there.
So we're just agreeing to disagree on this subject.